Good morning, all. Welcome back to the Selenium WebDriver Day 7 session. In the last session, we learned about how to handle multiple alerts, the different kind of alerts into Selenium WebDriver script. In this session, we will learn how to deal with the frames window as well as we will learn the user action simulation. So we will be completing basics of Selenium topic today. So let's wait for that Eclipse to launch, and the application that I used last time, that is there in Eclipse. So let's wait. Okay, let me open that script open with system editor. If I say system editor, that means the default browser, which is assigned for default application, which is assigned for that file. So for HTML it is Chrome, so that is why I'm saying system. All right, see, in the last session we handled this is alert, second is confirm box, third is the prompt box, which asks for user input. So this is what we covered last session. Now it is time to cover the frames. So let me take any example which is having a frame. Guys, you have any example which contains a frame? Please share that if you have. Okay, Indian Rail Government.in. Let's thanks Amit for suggesting. Let's try this. Oh, there is a quite a huge performance improvement. Nice. So let me check where is the frame. Oh, this is a Chrome browser. I will go with the Firefox browser. Even Chrome browser I can use, guys. If you are not able to install Firebug, Firepath add-ons for Firefox, it is okay. You should be still able to use any other browser. You get a developer option in Chrome. So open developer option in the console. Uh, Go to elements will actually show you the HTML hierarchy, and there's a control F, iframe stands for internal frame. See, right now I'm able to see some iframe content somewhere. I don't know where it is. Oh, it is zero matching, so that means iframe is not here. Okay, so iframe is not there on the home page. I am assuming it should be somewhere on the login page or somewhere. Where is the link for login? Let's check PNR status. Is there iframe? No, I see zero matches found. Naukri.com, yeah, I will definitely take that. Again, on the home page there is no iframe. Okay, let's go to login and see if there is iframe. No. Buy online. Let's try this. Open developer options, developer tools. In the element sections, again search for iframe. Alright, so here I see an iframe. Now this iframe is for what? Let's check it out. It's having document HTML, head, again a body tag, but which is empty. As you can see, the head is empty, body is also empty. So this is just an empty frame. Let's check with any other frame that we see. There is another frame. src is equal to about blank, height is this, visibility is hidden. That means this frame is not shown yet. Okay, in the style attribute you see visibility hidden. That means this frame is not shown. So let's move on to next. There is another iframe. Tab index is equal to this much, presentation title is equal to you. I already told you what is title attribute. Title means the tooltip. If you want to verify a title, you just if you want to verify a tooltip is shown, just read the attribute get title from web element. So web element object dot get title will help you. It is having some name, id, src, and looks like this frame is visible. Okay, so let's go inside. See, frame will again contain html tag. Okay, and then head and script title is there, lp secure storage. There is a big chunk of a script, and the body tag is empty in that frame. I'm not sure. I think the body is generated dynamically with the help of that html. So this frame's body is also empty. Let's move on to next. Let's check out this expand document html. Again, the body tag is empty for this frame. So yeah, there are some frames, but all these four tags are having empty body. Okay, what is iframe? So iframe is basically, okay, I will just tell you iframe example. W3C has a very good tutorials if you want to learn HTML. Please refer W3C if you wanted to learn HTML. Just go to HTML and click on HTML examples. So inside a web page, there is another web page that is iframe. So let's say this is, I will write a h1. This, oops, my bad. This is my page slash h1. H1 means the heading one. Okay, see, this is my page. This is a part of my web page. Okay, and inside that web page again there is another window. As you can see, w3 is w3schools.com, and then I'm just scrolling a little bit down, so it is like web page inside a web page. And from how this web page is getting generated, it's coming because of the iframe tag. Okay, so this is like a frame. Inside that frame I can see another web page. So let's take example of this only. If you want, we can actually take example of this only, just copying it. Okay, I'm saying new HTML frame example, just pasting that HTML, rename that file with HTML extension. This is the we write HTML, right? So rename that file with HTML. If you want to see the code, open with Notepad++. This is for developers Notepad. You see that HTML content. If you want to run that program, just open it in a browser. Okay, it's not showing the internal web page, maybe because of that security reason. I will open it one Notepad++. All right, iframe src is equal to, and your frame doesn't support iframes. Okay, don't worry about that, just forget about this. So instead of w3schools.com, I would say www.google.co.in. okay, and let's open it. Is it working? I don't think so. It should, but sometimes the domain restriction comes in a picture. I'm already on w3c school, so it becomes easy to access that domain. So if I change it to google.com from an internet domain, see, it's giving me error saying that this is cannot be loaded because I'm referring to a cross website, that way. So this is like security vulnerability, so that is the reason browser blocks this kind of request. But if you want to have another web page, let's say for example I wanted to have this web page, so just copying that URL on the same domain, it will work. All right, so my bad. Say run. Can you see that iframe example is there? Okay, you can also set the height and width. Let's say width is equal to 100%, or you can also give, let's say, some number for 400 pixel. Say run. Can you see that width is increased? I will make it 800 pixel, which is better, and height is equal to maybe 500 pixel. All right, I will just, yeah. Okay, now I think you can see that more bigger web page inside a frame. So this is completely HTML frame. Okay, and the title, this is my page. This title H1 is coming from actually my web page content. You can see that. I hope it is clear now what is iframe. Can we look at the site and check, or we need to go to our developers tools? Sometimes it is easier to find to understand whether it is iframe or not, but just by looking into this page, just let's say if you're only looking into here, it becomes very difficult. This might be a table, or it might be a div, or it might be anything. So to understand whether this is iframe or not, there are many options. One option is go to the developer tool and search for iframe tag. That's one option. Another option is just right click here and can you see this frame or something? No, right? I'm just right clicking here and see here maybe. Okay, in Firefox it shows, let's say I will open that into Firefox. In Firefox it says that open this frame in new tab. So that may help you to understand. See, I'm right clicking here and it says um, not here. Okay, can you see that this frame? Okay, whenever you see this frame in option in a Firefox, that means okay, this is a frame. Okay, but the best option is to go through developer tools, the HTML. This is what I will recommend. All right, I hope what is iframe is clear. So I have, see guys, I can use any online example. If you have a suggestion, let's play automation practice.index.html. I'm not sure if there is any frame. Let's find it out. More tools, developer tools. Guys, I'm trying to use developer tools from a Chrome browser because this is becoming built in, and many of you are facing problem with the Firebug and Firepath. So I always recommended not to become tool dependent. What I said is every browser gives an option to read HTML, and you should be able to read the HTML, understand the HTML, and then write your own locator instead of using any tool. Yes, obviously you can use any add-on or anything to just to check that whether that CSS or XPath or any locator that you are identifying is unique or not. For that reason you can definitely use any tool. There are so many tools available. For example, in Chrome also, CSS XPath checker. Okay, CSS XPath checker is also available for Chrome. If you want, you can install it. That will help you to check whether that CSS XPath is there on a page or not. This is a Firepath that we are already using. XPath checker, this is for again Mozilla Firefox. I'm specifically looking for Chrome. So one is the one I installed is see, this is CSS and XPath checker. To the top right corner, this is CSS Selector Tester. So I'm opening this option. See, to the right hand side top corner, React CSS or XPath checker. So what I'm writing is, let's say I'm writing a tag, and what is this? This is a CSS. Hit enter. Oops, it's not matching. I don't know why. Hope there is no bug. Looks like this is broken. Oops, looks like this is broken. Maybe I can go with this option. Let's try this if it works. CSS selector, I'm writing A, enter. Okay, can you see that all the hyperlinks are highlighted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It gives a number also. This is the link plus 92 others. Now what I will say is uh, src, any tag name, any tag which is having src attribute. Src is mostly for img tag. So just hitting enter, and can you see there are 37 matches found. So this is an image. Can you see that I can move it anywhere? This is an image. Let's scroll here. See, this is image is highlighted in a red color. Already the website is in this color. And so this is one option, to go with the CSS selector and check. There are many add-ons, right now I don't want to explore each and every add-on. You can just Google it and find more add-ons for your browser, and only use this add-on for getting your checking your locator, whatever locator that you are writing is valid or not. Okay. All right, fine. So that's done. This is done. I will just open that automation practice.index, developer tools. Oh, sorry. Developer tools. All right. So here in the element section, let's Control F, iframe. Okay, this is an iframe which is pointing to facebook.com. So I'm not sure where is Facebook content here anywhere. Let's expand and see what it says. It says there is a document HTML body is there, and in that body there is a div tag. There are two tags, one is span, other is script. And what it says, application error, there was a problem getting data from the application. So yeah, this is what I was saying. So I don't see anything for Facebook. So they have that script tag is empty. Okay, that's one. Another frame is here. So this is also FB XDM. FB means this is for Facebook. There is another frame for Facebook. Mostly this is used for the advertisers and share, for the profiling thing. So iframe name. Now I think this is the sixth frame in the application. I think this is also pointing to facebook.com, which is not shown on the screen because you see that error message had, oops, it's quite a big head. Okay, there is an li, and what it contains, just trying to find out what it is containing. There is a big hierarchy. Maximum border. Okay, there is an image. I don't know. I don't think this. Okay, this is displayed on a web page, but still, let's check what is this image. Okay, this is like. Let me open that image in new tab. There is an image with, but I'm not able to identify which is that image. This is something related Photoshop day or what? Which day? Okay, popular bestsellers. Let's scroll. Top trend men's sunglasses. Okay, can you see that? This is the frame I was. This is the frame I found. Presta shop. Okay, so if I wanted to click on this image, Presta shop, is it having ID? Is it having text? No, but what it is having is alt tag. I think this is unique. Photoshop's Presta photo. So I'm just copying that. Here you can also write the CSS selector. Okay, so it's attribute equal to value. That is why I'm writing it here. Can you see that this is unique? Only one of one matching node. So I can use this CSS selector with automationpractice.com, and let's try that. Let's try that. What is the difference between iframe and image? See, iframe, it is like a container, and inside that container you can add another HTML web page completely. So HTML web page may contain images or may not, right? img tag, it's for images. And see here, this is the frame. In that frame, actually the complete frame is this much. Can you see that highlighted section? See, it's getting highlighted. This is the complete frame. It contains image, it contains HTML, it contains button, it contains some photos, sign up thing also, sign up button also. There are so many things. It shows the line number of likes also. So see, if I go and explore this div, see, right now this image is for that penguin icon. You see this penguin icon. Okay, If you want to click on that penguin icon, we can locate some class. Maybe I need to use this class. Then another thing in that frame is you see the text PrestaShop. This is the PrestaShop text, and there is span div title target is okay. There is an hyperlink. You see that this like page. There is an hyperlink. So the text for hyperlink. Let's find out what is the text for that hyperlink. This is a like page text. Okay, and that is present in I tag. I tag is for not. It is not inside I tag. Okay, just forget about it. I is for italic, but it is not present in I tag. See, I started and closed here only. There is a light button. It is just the frame is overlapped, so you are not able to see it properly because the developer of this automation practice given very less size for that frame. Next is there is again a button. What is that button? This is a sign up button. You see that sign up button? Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you, a frame may contain again a HTML, complete full HTML. You see that head tag again. See, this is the iframe tag, and inside there you see an HTML again because this is a complete web page. All right, thanks, Piyush. Let's go to. I wrote a locator, right? This is my locator. Or let's choose any other locator. Maybe I would like to read a text. Okay, this is a like. I would like to read how many likes are there for this web page. Okay, so there is a class underscore 1drq. So let me try to use that dot underscore 1drq. Is it unique? Yes, it is unique. Okay, I hope if I reload the web page this is not going to change. That's my just hope, not sure. So right click, new project, new project. I will give project name as 16th July 2017 frames handling. Okay, I just need to be a little bit faster so that I can cover all the topics. To this project, the very first thing is you need to add references to Selenium and TestNG. That I am. Let me do that first. TestNG added. Selenium I will add. Okay, I will say apply. Okay, in SRC, writing a class. The class name I would like to give frames example. All right, so inside a frame at the rate test. Oops. Public void test frames. That's my test case. Okay, so web driver is equal to new Chrome. Oh, my bad. Chrome driver. Before that, system.set property, not properties. WebDriver.chrome and the path to the driver. I think it is on E drive. E:/ drivers drivers. Let me replace single slash with double slash. All right, that's one. Okay, now it's time to open a URL. Driver dot get, there we pass the URL http:// I think I should copy paste that URL, automationpractice.com/index. Please make 16th August 2000 and tell me don't need to rename the default package. 26th August, what I did? I did a mistake or what? Oh, it's July, my bad. Let me rename it again. Yeah, tell me. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, it's like I'm still feeling like I'm in July month. Thanks. The shortcut key for renaming any project is very simple. For example, this is the project I want to rename. Uh, First open that. Then F2 is the shortcut key for renaming a project. Or another option is you can just right click, refactor and rename. Okay, so instead of July, I will add August. Alright. Perfect. So, okay, I don't want to open, okay, this project is not having any name. I should give that. Let's rename it. That was alerts handling we covered yesterday, right? So 15th August 2017. Oh, that's probably different. Okay. This is 16th. So I will close the unrelated project, close unrelated project, so that it will close these two projects. Okay. And here I will write the URL. That URL is going to be excuse me for a second. Yeah. So the URL is done. Now it is time to directly, if I don't handle a frame, what we generally do is we directly write a code. Driver dot find element by dot, let's say class name. The class name was, okay, this is because the number of like I wanted to read. While giving a class name, remove that dot, because it's, if you add dot, that means it's a CSS selector. So this web element I will be getting. Okay, web element, you need to import that, control space enter. Okay, web element equal to that. I would give proper name, let's say ELE, number of likes. Okay, as well. So okay, how many likes are there at this moment? It is I will just copy paste that text and I will add a assertion. I'm not able to copy that. Okay, I will say copy outer HTML, no, copy the CSS XPath. You see there is an option here, copy CSS selector XPath. Okay, but if I say copy XPath, see that XPath will look something like this. This is the way XPath will look like. The ready-made XPath you will get it from Chrome also, but never ever use that. It means that this is element, and again inside that second div child, and again there is a second div child, and again there is a second div child. So avoid it, please. Edit that HTML. This is the way I can actually copy. So I wanted to compare that text. Assert equal, the actual text will be coming from the element, right? So I have that element dot get text. So from that element I am reading a text. The expected value going to be this, and I don't need any printf statement. All right, so let's add driver dot quit so that it will close the browser and current Chrome driver session also. Let me run this test case. Right click, run as test ng. Guys, let me tell you first thing, this is going to fail, you know, because the element underscore 1d, the number of likes element is not present on the main HTML. It is present inside a frame, and when you directly try to find out driver.find element, keep on searching for on the main page, not inside a frame. So this is what I wanted to show you. So I am expecting this test case to fail. Okay, web page loaded. Let's go to the test and see it is fail. Now what is the exception? The exception, it says, is no such element exception. The reason is that element is not present inside a, on the main page, it is present inside a frame. So if you want to search on that particular frame, you need to switch your driver to search into the frame. So I will close that browser. Let's go here and see, this is my frame, right? Let's find out that iframe tag which is containing this. So that's my iframe tag. So always remember that you need to switch your driver. Last time, in the last session we switched driver on a alert. So how did we switch? Driver dot switch to dot alert. This is what we said, right? But now this time I will be adding driver dot switch to dot frames. Can you see that frame? Now there are options. You can switch a frame by its index number, saying first frame, second frame, third frame, that way. But this is not recommended because we don't know, what is the index number of that specific frame. So just ignore that. Another option is you can give a frame name or frame ID. So let's check in my application, is there any frame name equal to or ID equal to? I see name equal to. Okay, that's one option. Is there ID equal to? No, there is no ID equal to. So this is one option, I can use that name, but I'm not again 100% sure whether this name is fixed for every test execution, or is it changing dynamically. Okay, so let me try to use that frame and see if what happens. If it is working, then it's absolutely fine. So see, I gave a frame name. This is my frame name, or you can also specify ID, it is optional. Even if you give name, or even if you can give ID. And then I will try to search an element. So let's run it. I think this is a dynamic ID. It might be changing for every browser reload or browser launch. So let's see. If the frame is not found with the given name, it should throw exception. So no frame element found by the ID or name FCE. Can you see that? This is what my guess was. My guess is right. Let's scroll it here and see, this is the frame, and let's inspect element. Oh, I don't like this Chrome's default behavior. I always wanted to have that here. And what's new? I don't want. Okay, so this time the ID is this, the ID had changed. Okay, can you see that initially the ID was different, now the ID is different. And let me check about that number of likes also. 1DRQ, is it changing also? Just right click on that element, inspect. 1DRQ, this is same, it is not, this class name is not changing every time, so you can use it, you can continue and use that one. Only problem is with the frame. So let's try to find out any other locator which can uniquely locate that frame. So that's my iframe. There is a title to the frame. I think I can use that title. Maybe this title might be unique. So let me copy that. Okay, I will say Control F, and there you will write a CSS selector. So title is an attribute, so I will use that attribute equal to value syntax. I will hit enter. Is it unique? Yes, it is unique. One of one matching node. So is it clear how to use Chrome for inspecting file? Look, for writing element and that option. So you don't need Firefox or Firebug or Firepath every time. Make yourself flexible, guys. Okay, uh, be don't be just dependable on Firefox or Firebug. You should be flexible enough to use any browser, any Chrome. Let's say there is a competition, and you don't have Firefox or a Firebug browser installed on your machine, and you're not allowed to use a Firefox or something like that. Then it becomes a problem. So I wanted you guys to become an expert in locating an element, not just uh, doing some specific set of mind. You should be thinking out of the box. The main expectation I have is you should be able to read the HTML, and from that HTML you should be able to write any kind of a locator. It might be any locator. It's my expectation from you guys. I think there is a question from Skype. Why browser is not closing, not even through WebDriver quit is given? Good observation, Amit. I was expecting this question from you guys. The reason is, see, my test case is getting failed on driver.find element. No, not here. Yeah, here. Okay. So while switching the frame, my test case was getting failed, and it was throwing no such element exception. If no such frame exception, my bad. So if this line is throwing exception, will it be going to continue the next lines to execute? Obviously no, right? There is an exception occurred here, so obviously my test case will be failed and terminated. The execution will be terminated. So this line is not getting executed. So while learning testng, okay, you can actually handle this case with the help of before method and after method. So you can go and use a before method, after method that way. So by doing that, your browser, you will be ensuring that your browser is getting closed every time, even though test cases pass or fail. All right, let's continue. I hope I cleared your query, Amit. So what I was saying is, first option is you can give index number. Second option is you can give the frame name, and but in my case the frame name is changing, so I will go with the third option, that there you can pass the web element object. So first locate that frame element, web element, frame element. Okay, how do I locate that element? Using driver.find element. Here I have to write a locator, so I'm writing a locator by CSS selector, and the CSS selector is there in the Chrome. Just copying that. Okay, replace that double quote with a single quote. We discussed this in the last session. All right, so this is the element, and that element I'm passing for a switching to a frame. Okay, now let's see what happens. If you want to debug a script, add a breakpoint. Okay, I'm teaching you debugging also. Add a breakpoint at some stage, right click, debug as testng test. So debug means line by line execution of your program. What I will do is I will just move this one side. I will close that browser because, okay, let it be. I will close that browser, older browser, which I don't want. Okay, the breakpoint has reached, and let's try to execute line by line. Okay, I will just say F6. F6 means execute that one line. So I got an element object. See, this line has not thrown no such element exception. That means, okay, I got a frame object. This is my frame object with the help of CSS selector is this. I will say F6. See, driver has switched into a frame. Again, I will say F6. Now it is time to find out a locator trying to find an element with the help of this locator. I will say F6. See, I got an element also. This line has not thrown any exception. Now, if you want to just intermediately execute some piece of a code, select that piece of a code and say Control Shift I. Control Shift I will tell you, that will only execute that piece of a code that I selected and will return you the value. So it is 101749 likes. It is coming from the website, which is the actual value. That's my expected value. You should be writing the failure message. The number of likes failed. You should be writing that message also, but it's okay right now. I haven't written it. I will say F6 and say it is time to close the browser. I will say F6. Can you see the browser is closed? And now I will say F8. F8 means continue the browser execution. So the test case is passed. This is the way we switch a frame. I hope I helped you to understand frame switching. There are two questions from Savita. On one page, if one or more frames are present, then how to check without ID? I think that is already covered right now. You can find that frame using any locator, get the web element object and pass that web element object to a frame. So this is what I have just now done. So get the frame object, pass on that frame object. You can use any locator you want. You can use XPath, you can use Css Selector or any. Another question from Amit is why browser is not closing every. Okay, I think I answered that query. Oh, okay. Any other questions? Is it clear how to switch into frame, find the element and work on that element? Okay. So let's continue. Now in this case, I switched into a frame, and now I wanted to come back. I read that text. I wanted to come back into the original main window and I have to do something. Maybe read title. Okay, so let's read title of that frame. Title of frame. The title is going to be different because itself is a complete new web page with the HTML tag and everything. So the title of a frame, I will read it using driver.get title. Okay. Now this title is of that frame. What I will do is I will switch back to parent driver dot switch to dot parent frame. So if you say parent frame, that means again you are switching back to the parent. Now the parent is actual my web page. It is not exactly a frame, it is my web page. So let's print out a title. So driver dot get title again. Okay, let's debug, or you can directly say run. If I say run, it is going to save my time. So is there any questions, guys? Let me know if you have any questions. Okay. The test script is getting executed. The browser has not closed. That means something error occurred. So what it says, stale element exception. Okay. This is a very common interview question. What is stale element exception and how to tackle with the stale element exception? So the stale element exception, it is always referred, this is thrown when your web page is changing or you have web element reference, and right now it is not in scope, that way. So let's find out on which line number we are getting exception. This is my code. On this line number I am getting exception. Guys, see, I have this web element object where this web element object is coming from the frame. Okay. Then I printed title of a frame. Let's go and check whether the title of a frame is my store. Okay, I switch to a parent frame. The title is again my frame, my store. It is the same title. Okay, and then see, I switch to parent frame, and then I'm using that web element, but that web element is not in scope because I switched into parent. So it says that this element is not existing, it is not no longer existing because right now I'm into parent page. So that is the reason it gives me a stale element reference exception. Stale element reference exceptions is, let's take example, I will give you another example. Okay. Let's take example, I'm on login page. Okay. I got a web element. Let's say user ID equal to driver dot find blah 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 elements. Okay, that code I'm writing. Then I'm done with login. And then if I'm writing, now done with login, that means I moved to which page? Let's say user home page. And then I'm saying system, system dot out dot system dot out dot print print ln, and there I am saying that old element which is coming from the login page which is not existing right now dot get attribute. This is the way we read any value from a text box. Okay, get text doesn't work for a text box. For if you want to read some value from a text box, you need to use get attribute value. This is only for specifically for text box, not for any other element. For any other element you will just say get text. Okay, but the problem is right now I'm on which page? User home page. Okay, is this element is still there on a web page? No, it is not there on a web page. So obviously this will give me a stale element exception. Okay, so this is what is happening in my case. Initially I was into the frame in the FB like box, this frame, and then I have that element, and later on when I switch to parent, then I'm trying to get the text of that element. So obviously it will throw me exception. So what I will do is, this is my web element. Here only I will just copy that text equal to, okay, I have that text, and that text I will be storing here and for my further reference, future reference, and uh, that I am comparing it here. So this way it should be avoiding no such stale element exception. Is it possible a frame inside a frame? Yes, it is possible. Frame inside a frame. You can have n number of nested frames. But if you wanted to switch into the third level frame, then you have to first switch from 1 to 2 to 3. You cannot directly switch into frame 3. Okay. Oops, it is still giving me exception. The number of lines failed. I said lines. I wanted to say likes. Failed. Can you see that one like has increased? Okay. uh, but this is expected, I this is just my mistake that I made it hard coded. This is as expected that likes are going to increase. Do not add such kind of assertion. But what I can do is I can just split this number, and I can check whether it is ending with likes, whether that likes are greater than some specific number by converting that string into number, and that way I can do it. But right now this is absolutely fine. So I hope this is clear. How to switch to a parent frame? Okay. This is one option, if you wanted to switch to parent frame. But now let's say you are already inside some frame, you don't know what level you are inside, how many times you wanted to switch to parent. The simplest way to go back to the main page is switch to default content. Okay, if I say default contents, it means the driver will start pointing to the main web page when it was launched. the web browser window when it was launched. That means the driver is equal to new Chrome driver. That time, that time driver was in pointing to initial window. So this is the way it will point to the initial web page. All right, so we are done with the frames, guys. Any questions you have on frames, or we can move on handling window? Let me know if you have any questions or anything on frames. I will answer that. Okay, Parag, thanks. Okay, I'm assuming there is no questions, so let's continue. How to find hidden element? Poonam, can you please use Skype chat, because today my Skype is working and I'm using that Skype chat for answering your questions. Okay, there is another question which Poonam asked and that I missed. Can we use switch to default content instead of parent frame? Yeah, this is what I have just now I have covered. Switch to default will directly point to the main window, main web page, not to any specific frame or parent. So if you are working into, let's say, 3-level nested frame and you wanted to go back one frame, then you will use switch to parent. Default content will directly switch to the main web page. How to find hidden element? See, it doesn't matter to how to find hidden element. Even though element is hidden, there will be an HTML, and if there is an HTML, that means you can write a locator and you can get the web element. Only problem is you won't be able to perform operation like clicking on that element or some selecting value, or that way, because it is hidden. You can't do some operations on that. Okay, no problem. Let's move on next. Next topic is how to work with the Windows. Okay, I can create a new project, or I can just write it here only. Let's create a new project, or let it be. I will just create a new class. That's fine to save time. Okay, now how to copy paste the same class? Just say Control C, Control V. It will ask you whether to save this class first. Automatically save all classes. Now the new class name should be Windows handling. Go to that class. Now this code is common. Even this code is also common. Let's say I wanted to click on that number of likes. So is it clickable? No, it is not clickable. But you can click on that pesto shop. Or is there login with Facebook or anything like that? No, I don't see. Let's use Nokri. Okay, so in Nokri, I will click on login, and there I get an option for Facebook. I will just click on a Facebook. In my browser, I already logged in, so it will ask me directly. But if you are not logged in into Facebook, then it will go to the Facebook login window. So this window will contain a Facebook login. Okay, let me do that. So let's simulate this option. Test login with FB. URL will be nokri.com. All these lines are common. Okay, fine. So it is time to click on that login first. So let's inspect that element. Div class is equal to mtext. It is not having ID, it is not having name, it is having a class. So the first thing you should check whether it is unique or not. So just say Control F and then write dot m text. Is it unique? Can you see that? How many matching nodes are found? There are 4 of 7 found. That means actually total 7 elements are found with that same class. So that is again not helping me. Okay, you cannot use this text. Okay, yeah, you can actually use that text. Let me tell you how to use the text. So in slash slash, okay, I'm writing an XPath this time because CSS has a limitation. You cannot use the inner text of element in CSS. So I'm using an XPath. Slash slash star means any tag name which is having text open bracket close bracket equal to in single quote login, enter. So again, how many elements are found? There are 3 elements found, 2 out of 3. So this is second one, this is third one. There is a button also. There is a button with the login text. Button type equal to submit. I don't know where it is, but we'll find it out. So I'm interested into the first one, I guess. This is the first element. Even though if you directly write this XPath, this is fine because find elements method will always return the first element. But still, I will try to make it a unique. Okay, by saying that the tag name is div, enter. Can you see that now it is unique? Initially I said star, that means any tag name, but now I am specifically saying I want a div tag which is having a text as login. I hope it is clear. If you have any questions, just let me know. So I'm just copying that locator, go here, driver dot find element by dot xpath, and the xpath is this. On this xpath I have to click. So most generally I like, I write web element equal to uh, first get the element and then click on it. But guys, this is like one time activity, so I'm just directly calling click method on it. So after clicking, what is next? Next is you need to locate the element of Facebook and then click on that Facebook. So span class is equal to Facebook. Make sure this is not any frame. Okay, it is not inside any frame. Okay, there is no iframe in the parent. This is what you need to check. There is no iframe in the parent. Yes, there is no iframe tag. So this is a span class Facebook. Okay, again I can use the same technique of using an XPath, but as I said, XPath should be the last option. So any tag name which is having text equal to Facebook. Oh, I forgot to add single quote. Can you see that it is unique? One of one matching found, one of one. That means yes, it is unique. This is one option. Other option is what you can say is there is let's go to its parent. That means a tag. This is what the hyperlink. Even though if you click on Facebook, still that is fine. If you click on a tag, still it is fine. So I'm using, is it having ID? No. Is it having name? No. The third option is it is having class. So the class is social button, but I assume that social button for Facebook and Google both will be same. Yeah, just below to that. See, this is also a social button, but the difference is this is also process, this is also process, but the difference is FB class. Okay, here you see GOOG class, but it's an FB class. So let me check how many elements are there with the FB class. See, there are so many. There are two actually, not so many. There are two elements. Okay, one is here and other one is this one. Okay, even though this is the second element in which I am interested. You see 2 of 2. This is the second element in which I am interested, but let's try. Now there are 2 elements matching with .fb. Now let's try to find out what is the uniqueness. This element is having class is equal to icons.fb, but my element is having class is equal to social button and then fb. So I can use 2 classes, right, in to look at one element. So .fb dot social btn. So is it unique now? One of one found. So I'm using 2 classes for locating one element in CSS selector. Okay, there were 2 options. You can go with the XPath or you can go with the CSS selector. I am choosing the CSS selector. See that CSS selector is this dot fb dot social button. That means two classes for one button. If I say space, that means this is one element and inside that another element, but I don't want to say that. I will say click. Okay. Let's see. I think there is a question on Skype. Okay. Does span means just a tag name? Yeah, span is just a tag name. So if you want to locate any element with just a span, you write span in CSS selector. If you're using XPath / span. But if you wanted to say that span with ID, so I will write XPath as / span square bracket @ID equal to something that way, Next question from Savita. For current, have you checked there is no iframe, nokri.com? Okay. The one option is okay, so yeah, this is the approach that I follow to check it is there is no any iframe. So let's say this is the element in which I am interested. Check the parent, is it iframe? No. 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 Again check the parent of this div, is it iframe? No. This is iframe? No. Check the parent of this div. See, the parent is now body. That means okay, the HTML page is completed. This is the complete HTML web page, and in that complete path, parent's path, I don't see any iframe, so I can conclude that there is no iframe here. Next question. Oh, I think okay. I think I answered you both of your questions, Amit and Savita. Okay. So I clicked on a Facebook. Hello. Just go to the HTML and search for iframe word, iframe tag. So that is one option. You can find an element, driver dot find. You wanted to do it in automation, right? Alt F. Yeah, this is what I said, right? Go to HTML, say Control F and iframe. So search for iframe word in your HTML. That is one option. Okay. If you want to do in automation, you can just say driver dot find element by tag name iframe and check how many elements it is returning. But that is more lengthier way. So it is the same way, like we are finding the locator and creating a locator as a manual process. So that way you should be finding the frame also. All right. Okay, so I just clicked on frame, but before clicking on here, let's say if I'm launching my driver, let's check how many windows are there. So I'm saying system, you will get that window count by this way, driver dot switch to so driver dot get window handles. Can you see that driver dot get window handles? Now what it returns? It returns a set of string. So window handle it means nothing like it is very much like a unique number for each window. So I will just get SCT, that should come from java.util because it is a part of collection java.util. Okay, not from any class, not from any other package, and it is a set of a string. So I'm saying set of a string is equal to, oh, I forgot to give a name. Let's say handles, or I will say all window handles. Okay, driver dot get window handles. So this will return all the window handles which are currently open by the WebDriver session. I will just print it. I will just print the size. I will just print the count. Okay. Now the same code I will execute after clicking on Facebook. Same code. Just remove the declaration part because it will become a redeclaration. So the same variable, get window handle, same method, and now now Windows count is this much. So I'm just printing that Windows count. Oh, so I forgot to call size. Size is the method which will actually click, which will actually count, which will return with the number of handles present inside set collection. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. Let me check if there are any question. Okay, can we use a tag name social-login? There is no tag name as such, social-login. Piyush, if you know the HTML have some specific tags, right? I is for italic, B for bold, div, span, H1 for heading, A for hyperlink, table is for table, TR, TD. So these are like standard HTML tags. And if you wanted to look at element, we use by dot tag name, and this tag name we write, for example, h1, h2, h3, or heading, or I for italic, B, that way, or tr, td, stable. This is all standard HTML tag. Social-login is not HTML tag. Okay, I don't know what it is. I haven't seen that social-login in the page anywhere. What is it? Social-login. Where did you see that social-login? I don't know. Okay, see, the tag name is A in my case, and A is non-unique. That is why I'm avoiding it. See, social-login, it is the data plugin. It is not a tag name. See, you can use that. Okay, no doubt. But social-login is here also. It is duplicate. Data plugin equal to social login, data plugin equal to social login. If you want to use this attribute equal to value, you can use it, but it will return two elements. That's the problem. Can you provide any HTML document for our understanding? Any HTML document? I didn't get your question. HTML documents, what exactly? To learn HTML or what? Okay, so if you want to learn HTML, I already suggested go to the W3 schools. Okay, this is the best way you can actually learn HTML. Go to W3 schools HTML and click on HTML example. All right, let's move back to the code. Yeah, so now Windows count is again all window handles dot size. I'm just printing the window handle size. Right click, run as test-ng test. Guys, this set, it is coming from Java collections. Okay, so set of strings, like for example set of web element, we already learned. It is the same way, but this is a set of a string. All right, so login is clicked. It's clicking on Facebook, and initially the current window count was 3. Initially the current window count was 3. Can you see that current window count is 3? And after clicking on Facebook, current window count is 4. Now the first question is why the current window count is 3. Okay, let me debug the script. Can you see this two windows advertises? This is main window, then there are two advertises, that means total count is 3. So let's come here and check how much it is printing. I will say F6. F6. See, that is the reason the current window count is 3. Why? It is showing two advertises and one is the main website. So this is Amazon advertise, this is from Tech Mahindra. There is a drive if you wish to go. Okay, click for detail. All right, just close it. Oops, sorry, I closed that window. So I close that window. So what I will do is I will just reload the current window size, Control Shift I. So this is like temporarily tempering the data, in the debug session. So now the current window size I will again print, Control Shift I. Oops, Control Shift I here. Can you see that now the current window count is 2 because I closed one manually. And let's go here, F6. See, it is opening the Facebook window. And it is containing a login in that. Now the current window count size should be 3. See, current window count is 3. Let's check a question. Can you tell me how you used CSS Selector .b .social button? Can anyone answer this question? I think I have given explanation at least 3 times so far. So maybe, let's just wanted to check if anyone can answer this question. Guys, please try to answer this question, try to help Prashant to understand how the CSS selector is used. Jen, it's just my mistake, I just closed one window by my mistake, so the count is reduced to 3. Yes, Piyush is right. It's for adding two classes. So I'm using by.css selector, and I said .fb social button. Both the classes are locating. Both the classes are of the same element, and I want to locate that one element with the help of both the class names. So it's a two different classes we have used to find the element. Yes, Priyanka is right. To find that one element. So dot class 1, dot class 2, dot class 3, you can use multiple classes to locate one element. So this is the syntax to follow. We have covered CSS selector in, I think, day 4 maybe. If I say by CSS selector class 1 space class 2, it means the parent element is class 1 and the child elements, all which are inside class 1, you are locating. This is the syntax, Shruti. But you should actually see that. Oh, I'm not able to edit it. So a tag having two classes. The syntax will be by.css selector .cls1 .cls2. This is going to be the syntax. Don't give any space. If you give a space, that means another syntax, let's say all child elements with class 2 inside parent element with class 1. So for that, syntax is by dot css selector. I will just add some spaces. cls1, this time I will give space. cls2, okay, dot, I forgot adding a dot. So if you give space, that means this is going to be parent. Space means inside that parent, this child elements I want. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, fine. Let's come back to the topic. We have 8 minutes left. Okay, I will run it again. So initially the window count is 3, and after clicking on Facebook login, the window count is 4. Okay, see, 4 windows are there. Okay, so initially the window count was 3. One was the main window, second there were 2 advertises, and I clicked on Facebook, and then it became 4. So I wanted to switch into the the driver will be point, even though there are 4 windows, the driver will be still pointing to the main window. Now is I want to switch into the last window open. Okay, for that code is I will use a for each loop, guys. Okay, for each. So just say for e. You see that first option? There are types of for loop. One is the normal for, another is the for each loop. For each loop is specifically for arrays and collections. So my collection is this. This is my collection. Set of string. It's a collection. So for every string, do something, that way. So I'm saying for each string with the name, I will give name as a handle, variable name, from all window handles. So you can say like, system.println handle. So this way it will print that each handle value, for each string inside that set. This loop will automatically execute. You don't have to write a condition, because the default condition is it will do it for all the elements present inside that collection or array. So for each loop is a specifically it's a special kind of a loop for collections and array. So all window handles, I'm just printing that window handle. At the same time, I will say driver dot switch to dot frame, not frame, window. The window, to that window, I need to specify the handle. Okay, handle, it's a unique ID. It is like a pointer, or it is like something that unique ID for every window. So I'm printing that ID and switching my driver to that ID. So for more information, I will also add another system.println that will print the window title. So my window title, I will get it by this way, driver.getTitle. All right. So this is going to give my driver title. Let's run the script. This count has to be printed before here. After clicking on social button, I will print that count, and then I will loop my driver, and I'm just printing the driver.getTitle. Okay. Next task, what I wanted to do is, my driver will come at the end of my frame. So the last frame is the Facebook login, and in Facebook login, I will just inspect. I wanted to type the user. So inspect that element with right click and inspect. Close this, I don't want. On elements, change the size, this UI looks broken. Okay, so there is a class input text underscore 55r1. I don't think that is unique, or input text. Okay, there is a name equal to email. Can you see that name equal to email? There is a ID equal to email. So there is a name, there is a ID. So I should go with the name and ID as the first preference. Let me check whether it is unique or what. So Control F, I will try to use ID. So ID starts with hash ID, enter. Is it unique? 0 of 0. Why 0 of 0? Oh, my bad. ID, email. 1 of 1 found. Okay. I think there is a question from Poonam. Which method is better, for each loop or iterator.next? Poonam, if you know iterator.next, which is good, iterator will work for all the collections, not for array, but for each loop will also work for array. That's one. Other difference is it using an iterator, that might be a little bit difficult for the people who are just starting with the Java, who are learning Java for the first time. Okay, I feel for each loop is more simpler than using iterator.next. Okay, guys, for guys who don't know what is iterator, for them just ignore it. Maybe in sometime in the future, if you get a time to learn Java on collections, that time you might learn iterator. But for now, just forget about iterator. You don't need it. Just use for each loop, which is more simpler. So this is the for each loop. Okay. All right. So let me run the code. Oh, I actually forgot. After switching to the last window open, last, or you can say latest window open, it will try switching from 1 2 3, and at the end of a loop it will reach to the window 4. And after loop, I wanted to say that driver dot find element by dot id. The id was email. On that email id, I wanted to send keys. Let's say I'm typing my email address. Okay guys, we are already running out of time. gmail.com. All right, so yep, this is it. I close my driver. If I close, if I quit, if I say quit, it is going to close all my window. If I say close, it will only close my current window. So that is the difference. Somebody asked me that question. So this is it. Let me try to run that code. Right click, run as. Okay, before that I will just close all these unnecessary dialogues which is creating a lengthy list at my taskbar. Okay, right click, run as test. Let me know if you have guys any questions about capturing a snapshot and executing a JavaScript. We will learn it in the next session. Guys, we are done with the first module from our content. Now from tomorrow we will be starting with the next module, that is the advanced Selenium, which will be mostly focusing on the framework and the tools, different tools, not just a WebDriver. Okay, so it's like we are done with the WebDriver basics. Now it is time for automation advanced part. So can you see that email address is now typed in this window? Okay, and that's it for all. That's all for today. So we learn how to switch into frame, how to switch into window. This is covered. Thank you very much for attending this session. If you have any question, please do let me know, or you can post it on Skype or a WhatsApp group. Thank you very much.